Crafty community, this is Sherry, and in this video I'm going to share with you my progress in my Junk Journal July journal. It got kind of full. I haven't been showing you much along the way because it came down to a time crunch. I either have time to do a few things and show you what I'm doing, or more time to just do junk journaling and then show you at the end. So I chose to do as much as I could for the month and then show you a flip through at the end. Now I have shown you, I think, days 1 through 7 or 9. And so I will go through those pages quickly. This has been a fun experience. If you got a chance to do it, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I was pretty consistent in my junk journal. Since this is the first time that I've done Junk Journal July, I wanted this journal to really reflect the prompts, since I found that the prompts were super helpful. And so I check marked each of the prompts that I was able to do, or that I chose to do. There were some that I just didn't get to, and that's perfectly fine. I'm still very happy with my progress, and it's getting pretty full and getting harder and harder to put things in this junk journal. But as I go through the journal, I wanted to point out what prompts I marked for those pages, and also let you know which goals I was able to complete. My goals for Junk Journal July were to use my scraps, and that goal really morphed into using my stash. I have a lot of things in my stash. The last few years I haven't been able to do as much crafting as I've been able to do shopping for some different reasons, but so my stash was growing, and this was a great opportunity to start using some of the things that I liked and that I had collected and found in my stash, maybe even forgot about some of those things. Connect with other journalers. I enjoyed watching several of the ladies as they went through the month doing their junk journals. I watched their YouTube videos. I looked at junk journals on Instagram. I began to follow some new people and to just stay connected, sharing what I've been doing and watching what they've been doing, and occasionally commenting and replying to comments. And then I had another goal to journal on most of the pages. I did a lot more journaling than I thought I would actually do, but there are pages that I finished and I made a journaling spot on the page, but I haven't gone through and journaled on that page yet. So I already showed you the first page, and yes, I journaled on here, and to me, I consider this to be journaling, taking notes. Journaling isn't always, talking about your feelings. To me, it's kind of recording and leaving an artifact of what's in your mind at that time. And then the second page was botanicals, and these were in my stash. I had made them. This was something that I made for the journal. It has journaling on the back side. And I was talking about using my scrap stash, and at the end I said heaping scrap stash Batman, and I thought that was funny. If you're as old as I am, you remember the days when Batman and Robin would say things like that. Maybe he still does, I don't know. I haven't seen the new Batman and Robin cartoons, but then I did the details page. I already showed you that, and I have gone back and added more details here and there. This is a vintage page, and this was the minimalist page where I kind of extended that there. And I did journaling on this page. I did a little bit of poetry, which to me is journaling, on that page. I did not do any journaling on this page, but this was the envelope page. Here, I just want to check real quick and make sure. Oh yeah, we're fine. I'm actually filming in the middle of the day, so the lighting isn't too bad. This was the Wanderlust page where I put a picture of a chapel that my husband and I drove by one time when we were driving through Colorado, and it was just such a lovely, lovely place, and I always wanted to go back there and go go inside the chapel and just be in the mountains in the chapel. And then this is a Japanese garden at the I want to say, well, it's in Pasadena, and it's a library. I want to say Huntington Beach Library, but that can't be right anyway. This was the pattern page. I made a pattern with these scraps that I had painted in various colors of green. And I also added borders here as I was getting ready to do the border page, which is, I think, I did borders on several pages. I didn't dedicate just one page to borders. Then this is the favorite supply page. Right now, my favorite supply are these book page ruffles, these sewn ruffles. They're so sweet and they're fun to add just anywhere. And then my journaling was from this book I was reading about creativity, and she talks about, do you remember how to be fearless? She talked about being like your 8-year-old self or your 7-year-old self, that fearless person when it comes to art. Oh yeah, here's the borders. I've been enjoying making these. I basically take those thin strips that come at the top of a 12 by 12 pattern paper. I cut little circles out of them. I cut the circles in half. I lay them on a strip, and then I cut the scallop out, and I have a scallop border, and that's really been fun to do. This was the Trash to Treasure page. This is an envelope for business. I think it was for a bill. I turned it inside out, and I painted the outside, put some washi on there, and I lined the inside with more painted book pages and a picture, and did some doodling and stuff. But anyway, I made this little treasure, and then this opens up and I can keep treasure in the Trash to Treasure. This was the In the Garden page. I have this journaling card, which I did get some journaling done on, and I like how this paper tied in with this little element here, which is from Planner Society ephemera. This is just from a scrap from a pattern paper pad, which I don't remember the name of right now. And then I threw in this little Maggie Holmes acetate leaf. There's a pattern or a embossed paper back here, and then this little pop of yellow. And then this page, I did a doodle of gardening, and my journaling was reminiscing about a garden that we had when I was in junior high, and it was such a lovely garden. And that summer, it was just very memorable to be, I don't know, there was something about gardening and being outdoors, and it really it fed my soul that summer. And so I did some doodling and drew some of the favorite things that we grew that year. This page, I did the layered prompt. I got a bunch of elements. They were from a package of ephemera that I got at Tuesday Morning, and I can't remember what company made this ephemera, but it's just a sweet kind of vintage, but very downplayed and muted colors, very oldish looking. And this was in my stash. There's a lot of elements on these pages that were just in my scrapbooking stash. There's washi and like the acetate leaves, and here's another border. This border inspired me to start making these borders using those strips of paper. So that border finally made it into something that I created. And this page, I didn't do anything on this page except just put this on here. And there are a few pages in here like that where I added elements like a border, or this is Happy Mail that I received, and so I wanted to have it in here because essentially this junk journal for me is going to be for inspiration as well. Here's a little thing I fussy cut. Here's something from my stash. There's another one of those acetate leaves. It looks really cool on this old map page. This was for the growth prompt, and I talked about just a little bit about my growth this summer in an area of doing for others. This page is another one of those borders that I made, and here's a painted book page from my stash, a paper clip from my stash. I have so many paper clips in my stash, so I'm trying to use them more. And there's a little bit of journaling on that, but I didn't write anything down for that page because that really didn't speak to any of the prompts. This was a butterfly given to me by my crafty friend and in some Happy Mail, and I've had it on my bulletin board, but I wanted to put it in this book to remember these butterflies. She also gave me a pattern to make these, so it's an inspiring little butterfly. I can't remember what I did on here, but I really did not like it, so I closed it. And so, because I didn't want to look at it anymore when I flipped through this journal. And it's my journal, so I can do that if I want to. For collage cluster, this is the first collage cluster I made right here. This year I've really been trying to do a lot more collaging because that is not something that comes easily or naturally to me. My personality is not one to just throw things together. I like the details, but I worry that I don't know, to me, when I look at someone else's collage, it looks so amazing, but when I look at my own collaging, it just does not look amazing. So, and then here's a little collage trim that I made. You just stick the pieces on masking tape and then you sew down the middle. I got that idea from 49 Dragonflies. And then as I've been going through doing other pages, I've added more elements to this little trim. I added this paper or little fabric flower and this little flower sticker, and then I added this little pin as I found them, and then I will do some journaling in there. This page has some fabric strip on it, and it has this little tab, and then it has a little fussy cut flower. I fussy cut some flowers from a catalog, and I put those here and there also. I really liked this summary paper that is from the Planner Society, and I took out this box that I have that has Planner Society ephemera in it, because you do get a lot of ephemera when you subscribe to something like that. And so I like the drink. I love summertime with the lemonades and the you know, the refreshing drinks. And then I made this little journaling card from a FabFitFun box and put some pictures from that catalog in there, and then stapled this. So anyway, this just sort of just came together. I did a little bit of doodling on here, and there's another journaling space, but again, it didn't really speak to any specific prompt. Neither did this, but I love these doilies. So from Kitty Wit Paper Crafts. I'll try to link her Instagram below. I ordered some goodies from her, and she has these rectangular doilies. Let me show you. So I had one of these that I cut in half and I put in the journal. These are really fun to play with. So I will link her Instagram below. There's another one of those fussy cut flowers, and this is a bow. I've been die cutting bows for some Happy Meal, and I had a bunch of leftovers and they were just sitting on my desk, so some of them found their way into my junk journal. This page is the thankful page, which I wrote grateful because I forgot that it was thankful, so I wrote grateful, and on the back of this I made a list of people that I'm very grateful for. And it's not happy people who are grateful, it is grateful people who are happy, and I really believe that. There's a nice quote there, and some more goodies from my stash. I didn't journal on this card, but this is my quote page, and here's some more, another butterfly from Happy Mail. Life is tough, but so are you. That quote really ministered to me the last few years because of what I went through with my husband, and you know how our life has changed because of that, where we've gone from him being the caregiver of our family to our family being his caregiver, and but he's still in charge, make no mistake. Anyway. I'm really thankful that his mind and his wit are just as sharp as ever, even though his mobility is less. But so sometimes, you know, life is tough, and you have to do things you never thought you'd have to do, and you get tested, and you get tried in ways you never thought you would. But in that time, you'll see how tough you can be. And so that's been my favorite quote. For the warmth page, I chose this page because this is an envelope that I received a card in from my mom. So this is my mom. She's left-handed. You can tell, see how everything slants to the left. She's left-handed, and when I see my name in her handwriting, it just warms my heart. So I put some pretty warm flowers on here, and this is the one page in the journal. When I turn to this page, I just feel my mother's love. And so I chose that for the warmth one. This is another ephemera from the Planner Society, and I chose to put it on this fold out and under the title of Relax. So that prompt was, a lot of the Planner Society ephemera is just super relaxing and chill, and it's just all about having that kind of lifestyle that everything, you have a plan, you have a plan in place, so you can chill, you can relax, everything's going to be fine. And so this is my happy place, and there's a little vellum lady, and she's all just hanging out. And I put some pink lace on that because it's just really relaxed. This heart has been making the rounds in my craft room because my granddaughters see it, and they take it out to the living room, and then someone brings it back into the craft room. And so it's just been hanging out in the craft room. It's been on the shelf, it's been on the desk, it's been on the table, it's been on the window seat. It's just been everywhere. So I nabbed it for the journal for the sparkle page because that sparkles. And I found these at Walmart. Our Walmart here in this town is pretty small, but in the next town over, they have a bigger Walmart, and they had these really sweet swan I want to say applique, but I think it's just, just a fabric swan that you can add to sewing projects. So I put her on there because she sparkles too. This page doesn't have a title, but I did do some, reflection, that's right. I did some reflecting on here about just my participation in Junk Journal July. I really enjoyed it. I'm proud of myself for finishing something that I started like this, because I have December dailies that are unfinished, and I have thankfulness journals from November that are not finished. And so I wasn't sure if I had it in me to finish this, but yes, woohoo! So I reflected on that in the back of here, and this is just a little cluster of elements from my stash. Again, finding things in my stash and using them up. This is from my stash, and I just clipped it to the back. I had a lot of fun with the, what was it called? Did I even write it in here? Looking up, no, it's monochrome. That's right, monochrome. I decided to go with this sort of craft color and keep things in that very neutral tan craft color. And I just kept finding more stuff and just putting it in there. But I like the clouds with the bows. I think that's really fun. The washi. I like the white highlights on here. Here's some of that paper ruffling that you can sew. And you open it up, and I did put some gesso on here. Here's one of those ruffled paper elements and some pretty little flowers. And a nice quote, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. And this, I was just messing around with the markers to get them going. And it was on a page where I had done some stamping to prime the stamp to get it ready to use. And then I wrote sparkle, which is another prompt. But anyway, I just slipped that in here because it's on craft paper. So, and then this flips out, and you see a heart. I did a few marks here. I just had fun. I kept coming back to this page and just putting more stuff on it. Like the butterfly was added later, the bow was added later, the clouds were added later, the flowers were added later, the hearts were added later. It just kept coming together and coming together and coming together. On this page, it's a photograph. So I have a photograph of me in kindergarten. This is an important photograph to me because I taught kindergarten for 8 years, and I was looking for this photograph during that time, and my mom found it. This was just on my desk. I've been trying some alcohol markers, and I have a journaling spot back here. where I can reflect on the younger version of myself. And and here's that favorite supply, another paper fringe that is sewn. Here's another bow that was on my desk just sitting there, and a flower. And that is it for my junk journal flip through. I may have done one more thing, but I don't remember. I do have some unfinished pages in here, and oh yeah, I was thinking about using that for negative space, so I just clipped it in there. But that's as far as I got. I think I got 25 prompts maybe. I got all the prompt 1 through 10 I did. I didn't do morning. I did not do paint. I did not do textured or negative space or stencil, but I purposely did everything else. I mean, I have done some of that stuff like as I was doing other things, but I didn't dedicate a page to those things. So that is my junk journal for Junk Journal July. I hope you enjoyed this flip through and maybe even got some inspiration. And if you did Junk Journal July, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I know I've already said that, but I really sincerely had a wonderful time journaling in this. And the nearly finished product is a lot of fun to flip through, and it's going to be fun next summer to participate again and see what next summer brings for Junk Journal July. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Hello, returning subscribers. So good of you to come back to my channel and see what I've been up to. And I thank you so much for your support. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's more crafty fun ahead.